Perfect.
Okay.
Welcome, Vignes, and thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah. So do you see the PowerPoint?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Am I not sharing? Now I share. But before I share, basically I'd like to just make a quick introduction about myself. My name is Vignes, and I'm originally from Singapore. I've lived nearly 19 years in Finland, and my Finnish is really, really bad. I mean, I can speak it, but if you ask me to explain something on a technical level, oh please, no. So you see, I haven't. Perhaps I haven't also been that interested. I mean, I've wanted to communicate with people. For me, the main thing is to be able to communicate, get the message across. I studied Finnish. And the funny thing is that when I came here, we all do this integration course, and I studied, I got like 9s and 10s. And then I didn't dare open my mouth because I thought, oh my goodness, the teacher said to do this, say it this way and that way. And, so then I said, and I lived in Helsinki. So easy, it was easy life in the sense that a lot more people were willing to speak English than when now I live in Hämeenlinna. So at that time, it was like, oh, you speak English. Okay, fine. That was the first question I asked anyone. Puhutko sinä englantia? Kyllä. Okay, vähän. Okay, phew. I don't need to think very hard. So I think that was the mistake I made. So that you fall into the trap. I didn't have any Singaporean contacts at that time. So, and anyway, we speak English in Singapore. So that was not a problem, but it's just that I went around just asking everybody whom I had to speak with, whether they spoke English. And then we moved to Riihimäki. We wanted to buy a house, omakotitalo, because the prices were ridiculous all around the metropolitan area. So we moved quite far. And there I realized, oops, at least where I lived, my neighbors were quite old people, and I had to speak Finnish. But funny enough, they wanted to practice their English with me. That was the funny thing. But anyway, we spoke Finnish, and I used to go to these lapsikerho and everything. So there I was using Finnish and English, and just trying to get my message across and get myself known. But for me, I have thought many times I've thought about returning to studying Finnish and really improving on it. But at the end of the day, a lot of people push themselves, they study Finnish, and then I thought to myself, how much will this Finnish help me if I were to keep advancing it? Will that be, I mean, there are enough Finns here in Finland speaking Finnish. So, and many Finns can speak English. So why would somebody want to hire me struggling with the Finnish? And I thought to myself, what could I do with the situation? And fast forward, we moved to Hämeenlinna. So we kept moving further and further away from the capital area, which wasn't our original plan, but now I'm in Hämeenlinna. So I was a home mom at that time for 13.5 years. So I have 4 kids. So I stayed at home a bit longer until my youngest started his eskari, as he called it, preschool. And then you come here and like I have work experience, but then you apply for jobs and you can never find something that at least I didn't find anything that really suited me. There was always something I didn't have. And anyway, I stayed at home for 13 and a half years. So I was like, what am I going to say? Okay, because maybe some people think I was lazy. I was doing nothing. I was, going to the park and having fun with my kids. Okay, but we all know that that's not life, kotiäiti life. Okay, going to the park and freezing your hands and fingers while your kids are having fun is not fun. But you're trying to be positive and go and have fun. So you have to. So I had to think, what can I do? And I came up with this idea because I had to basically start from scratch. I have 8 years. I had 8 years of work experience in Singapore, and I worked in the seminar, conference, and training industry. I was doing really big events, and I wanted to be at home with the kids. That was my a dream, because it was you don't do that. You get 2 months maternity leave in Singapore, and you hand your baby to God knows who, and you go off. I didn't want that, and I wanted to do something special, stay at home, and we ended up having 4 kids. So it was just nice, and it felt so scary to step out of this safe world. All you knew were you and your kids' world, to the big scary world where I didn't know whether I had any skills. All I knew was that I was good at looking after my kids and cooking the meals that they liked, and making sure everybody was happy as they could be, and caring for my husband, who was building up his career. So what I did after my youngest began Askari is to think, what can I offer? What are my skills? And funny enough that I came across, we have the settlementi in Hämeenlinna, and in the settlementi we have a tuopolku. So I don't think every town has a settlementi, but anyway, there's a tuopolku, which basically they are working together with the TE office. And we all know how helpful the TE office is. Okay, we have all been customers at one point or the other. But this lady was different because she was dealing with immigrants. So she said to me, what do you want to do? So I said, I don't know. And then she said, okay, would you like to work in a lukio, teach? Or basically not teach, but get them to speak English, because she had done something similar with a Spanish-speaking person, because the lukios offer Spanish, and this is a native Spanish speaker. So she said, you're a native English speaker. Would you like to go and get them to talk, conversation? And she knew the principal. So I said, oh my God, principal of a lukio sounds scary. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how smart they are and how dumb I will be. And all I knew was the kiddie world, the little small kids. And then she went with me. She accompanied me to meet the principal, and he asked me, what else can you teach? Because he was really excited. And I said, I don't know. I can teach people how to look after kids, but I don't know anything else. But when we left the lukio, she's like, he loved you. I said, what? Yeah, he wanted you to start right away. I was like, oh, okay. Wow. That was like my first interview. I didn't know what I was expected to do, but you could see a lot of people coming to me and saying, hey, I'm the social sciences teacher. Can you come and give a talk in social sciences? I'm a this teacher. Can you come to this lesson? Everybody wanted me to share about Singapore, also use my English. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that I have this special skill that people are interested in. So I started at the lukio. That was how I started. I couldn't start right away because we were going to go to Singapore and spend a month there and then come back, and because they wanted me to start the next day or something, or when they could, as soon as the paperwork was done with the TE office. because it still goes through the whole system. So it was a tuokokelu. So it was something that basically it's tuoharjoitus, and I just did it. I didn't, but you know, I felt like a little kid because I've been at home with my kids and being in the daycare world and care world and whatever. So, you know, and there I was giving talks about Singapore, doing research, lots of research, and it was very, very good. It was really stepping out of my comfort zone. I was willing to do that because I've never done teaching. I mean, I've done substitute teaching, but not really I was, in fact, not only doing conversational English, I was also doing comparisons between Finland and Singapore and these kind of things. So I was like so hungry to learn and develop myself, I guess, because I was just doing, I didn't mind that they gave me work or they used me or whatever. It was the getting myself known. And I got a good testimonial from the principal. And after that, they didn't have a possibility, of course, in Finland, because you need the papers. So if you want to go into teaching, you need the papers. And that, and then I applied for this international international teacher training program. They have this joint thing with the Hamk, Tamk, and a few towns. Because I thought, I want to teach. Okay, I'll get, you know, because here in Finland, teaching is a degree, but this is like a 1-year course, so 10 months or something. So I went to apply for that, and I carried on trying to get into lukio, so gymnasiums, but there aren't that many, obviously, and they didn't need me. Then I went, and then I was very, very down because I said, okay, fine. So that's all I can do, lukio. I don't know what else I can do. You know, you kind of give yourself the limits, and it's all in the mindset. And then I told myself, hey, my son is in this school studying English, and I have a good relationship with this English teacher, primary school, alakoulu. And so I contacted this English teacher, and I said, you know, this I'm so-and-so's mom, and you think you could find a job for me somewhere? And she's like, no, it's too much work. No, we have too many projects. But she's also the German teacher, and they had the German students visiting, and she said, no, I cannot take on more work. But if you want, you can try calling the vice principal. And I called the vice principal, and he must have liked me or something, because he told her to find me work. It's like, bam. And then she's like, oh, okay. You know, the vice principal says I have to find you work, so I'm going to do that. And I started, I think it was for 8 weeks, also tuokokelu. And it went of 8 weeks or 6 weeks. And she told me after, I think even 2 weeks, God, I thought that it would be more work having you. In fact, you have really made my life so easy, because she had the extra pair of hands. And I carried on at that school. What is the maximum? I think it's 6 months. Is it tuokokelu? I'm not really sure. At that time, 6 months, whatever maximum I could work in the school for tuokokelu, because it's a maximum at one place. And then after that, they couldn't find me a place. I mean, that was the max out. And so I went back to Tuopolku, and I said, it was really nice, but there's no future anymore, because I don't have a teaching qualification. I was teaching, but they officially it's a koulun ohjaaja, teaching assistant. So she said, let's find out if we can get you palkkatuki, because everybody wanted to hire me, but schools always say, we don't have any money. No money, the usual story. So she went, I still remember, she said to me, I'm going to go and find some money for you. I'm sure the town has money. And she went knocking on people's doors and finding someone who was willing to say, yes, we can, because I qualified for this palkkatuki, this work subsidy. So the town pays, basically the school is town, so the town pays half and the TE office pays half. And if you are a customer long enough with a TE office, like I was, then I qualified. So go and you know, if I'd gone to the town, if I'd gone to the TE office and said, hey, can you help me? I think that they'll say, no, bye, you know. But this lady really wanted to help me. And because they specifically work with immigrants, maybe not so highly educated immigrants, but at least she was willing to take the chance on me. And I got a message from her. They have found the money. You know, it was a funny message. They have found the money. So we got the paperwork done. And I stayed in the school for almost 2 years. It was like, I got a salary. It was really good experience, a primary school, Alakol. So I was teaching all the way from 3rd graders to 6th graders. And then I had to use Finnish to teach English. You know, that's how the school system here. My daughter's learning German, okay? And she's learning German through Finnish. So I don't know whether she will learn any German at the end of the day, but that's how languages are taught, through Finnish. So I had to learn how to teach English through Finnish. And funny enough, I can say I confidently can do that. So I was teaching assistant. Everybody wanted to have a borrow me, because it was a big primary school. There were 3 English language teachers. On top of that, I was giving presentations about Singapore in English, so they had to listen, because that's one of the ways of learning. And I finished with them, and because they couldn't do anymore. And then I got not palkatuki, I got määräaikainen, and it's a fixed term, because you know, you have to just prove yourself and be willing to do something. The same vice principal who gave me the green light to get in to the primary school had been promoted to head of the education for our town. And he said he can help me. I mean, you know, he had come to visit, and then he said, you know, I got 2 months, whatever maximum they could give me, 2 months of fixed term in a secondary school. And so I've had a taste of different things. And, you know, of course, there are sometimes days when you think that, okay, what the hell am I doing here? Because sometimes they organize for you and the teachers don't want you. Okay, I mean, they see this native speaker, you know, coming there, or am I going to take their job? But you just have to, you know, ignore people and just do. And you get like stupid comments like, oh, what's she doing here? And things like that. I mean, so I was just there to learn. I wasn't there to take anybody's job or whatever. So I did that. And then along the way, I was also applying for this professional teacher education program. I was applying and when I got rejected the 4th time, I thought to myself, forget the silly program. That's what I said to myself, and try to think what I can do. And then I started, I joined this project that the town started for international talents. Okay. And well, the project, I didn't like it, but it was just all talk, I would say. But having said that, I used, there was a lot of networking. I went to every single networking event. Probably it was a bit easier for me because my kids weren't so little. I mean, if by then my youngest was in 1st or 2nd grade or something. Okay, so if I had very, very small kids, it would have been a challenge. But I went to a lot of networking events. I went around and I was looking like a stupid person there because I was the only one going around talking to people in English, and like people will just look at me, where this woman has come from. And you just have to do that. I went around talking to people, networking, and made myself known. And then eventually I sort of, you know, thought to myself, why do I want to teach kids? Why don't I teach professionals? So that's I mean, I must say that it was a bit unfortunate, because when I began teaching professionals, adults on site or face to face, then it was the COVID. So so but I like meeting people. I like seeing real people. I mean, like it makes a huge difference. But then now I decided that, okay, you know, because it was very difficult, because I worked so hard to build up this on-site or face-to-face thing. But then I taught myself all these online platforms, and I decided to go into online teaching. And I think that there are lots of advantages. Funny enough, I communicate, or I teach people in other parts of the world, and I don't think we're ever going to meet. But the world has become so small, and I try to be as active as possible. I think the LinkedIn is one thing. I mean, if you any of you are following me on LinkedIn, I post 4 times a day. Of course, some of the posts are repeat posts. I try to learn as much as possible from content creators, and I haven't really. I don't know. I like telling stories. I have ideas. So I keep all the time. I keep improving my LinkedIn profile, because I use that as a platform. Of course, some people might think that they don't want to be so much on social media. Then perhaps the LinkedIn is just a passive way. You know, you apply for jobs via LinkedIn. I mean, it's how you want it to be. For me, my LinkedIn is, I'm not a LinkedIn trainer, but I use the LinkedIn to link with people, with the world, because there are 670 million people or whatever, I don't know. So I mean, I'm still finding people in Finland who are in Hämeenlinna. I've never, they're like, where have you been? And we haven't, you know, and we just connect. So I think that it's not easy. It's really, really not easy. And I think that you just have to find something that you offer that and make it work. Some people are very good with languages. Okay, I know of many people who came after I did, and they are very, very skilled in Finnish and another language. But I was home for so long. I didn't want to start studying something. I just was so eager to go and work. So that's basically what. That's why I didn't sort of, you know, really look for work or opportunities. I thought to myself, let's start this way. And, you know, I don't know how long I will do this online coaching, but for now it's fine. I'm also doing a project with HUMC. So I'm working with HUMC International to help them with the internationalization of HUMC, whenever that will happen, because they are in the process of it. A lot of universities of applied sciences are going bilingual, as in English and Finnish. So they have to get their staff trained. So I'm also working on that at the moment. Yeah. So it's how much time you need to devote. But just a quick question by that. If you have any, just a thought, if you have any stories to share or any questions, just feel free to just ask, because I think that for many people, I don't know, we have had many of us have had to reinvent our career or start from zero, and it's not easy. So if you have a story, it would be nice to also know. If you feel like sharing, you don't have to share. But so would love to hear if you have any stories. Hello.
Well, maybe I could very quickly share mine. It's slightly different, as I came as an exchange student and I stayed here studying my master's degree. I was studying German language and culture. I'm from Germany, and a little bit similar to you, my asset is my language.
Yes.
And that's also basically how I got my first job. Straight out of university, I was volunteering in this organization called Erasmus Student Network, and through that I knew some people and the travel agency that the international students were traveling with, and I just sent a message to the person I knew there that if they were interested in having me as an intern during the summer months. I got a grant from the university, so that was rather easy. And they said that, yeah, sure, and they would be interested in looking into the German market, expanding there, and so on. So I got the internship, and that's maybe my number one tip. First of all, volunteering or networking, like getting to know people through whom it might be possible or easier to get to know about possible job opportunities. And then internship is also always an easy way to start. Just need to be careful that you don't do just internship after internship and never get to get a full-time position. But yeah, I was hired as an intern, and then it went into a fixed-term contract until the next summer, and then after the next summer it started to be a full-time position with open end, and I was in the end working there for 7 years in many different positions. And again, through knowing someone, I got my new job that I started in April through my friend, who let me know that they are looking for a German customer success manager in her company, and I applied. And again, basically with my language skills again, and then my experience in customer service, and that I got that job. So if you have found your asset, and quite often it is language skills, especially with English and German, and probably also other European languages, but
Russian,
then
I think that there's always a demand for Russian. I think as Rabia said, it's that internship, being willing to do things, volunteer without, because when I was doing going to networking events, I was asked if I could help at an event because a lot of the students were coming. It was in MiB University of Applied Sciences, and they asked if someone could come and just be at the morning organizing, and I said, okay, I can come because I drive anyway, and I live a 10 minutes drive from there. The students were coming from Valkeakoski and all that, and I was helping out, and because I was helping out, I was at a lot of meetings, and I got myself known, and I got one person. I mean, he was saying, oh yeah, they are making use of you, and they're not paying you, but I didn't really care because it was a really good move, because I got myself known to a lot of people in that MiB University of Applied Sciences, HUMC. And when I came back to do the project now, they already knew me. They're like, oh yeah, she's done this. And so you just have to get yourself known and be prepared to give something so you can get something back. Because there's no guarantee, and just make sure you don't get taken advantage of or something, and you just keep doing internships. Find out what your assets are. It may be some IT related thing, technology, whatever. I mean, English is not such a big deal, but it was the way I try to market it, because of course people can speak English here, but it's a matter of just how you can use the English, if you have another language, if you have organizational skills, maybe you can volunteer at events, if there are on-site events or even online events. They still need a lot of people to organize. So just try to make yourself known. If you're depending on the TE office, of course, we know how they are helpful they are. They don't care. So just, you have to, I found all those jobs by myself. Even I was told many times that they told me I cannot, there are no more jobs for you and we can't help you. And I said, okay, fine, I'll help myself. So that's the thing. Any questions, anyone? It's nice that you're putting any.
No, Vignes, I found it very nice listening to your story, very empowering. I don't have questions. It's like,
how long have you lived in Finland?
I just arrived in July.
Okay, so you are studying Finnish.
Yeah, I was studying would be not yet really.
Not yet. Okay, not yet.
I have a very small child, and it's like you said, if it's like a very young child, you are not as free, and I have to do kindergarten onboarding. And I really liked your thesis about thinking how far would it bring you to invest lots of time, maybe even money in learning Finnish. That's kind of where I am at. Because to get me to a business Finnish level, it'll be like
I couldn't do that. No,
yeah.
No.
So,
but you have the asset. You speak German, do you? Are you from Germany?
Yes.
And then you speak very good English.
I lived in London.
Oh, okay. So you are effectively bilingual.
I am.
Yeah. And use your language. That's really true, because a lot of people get this advice, oh, go and study Finnish, go and study Finnish. Yes, of course, study Finnish. I'm saying that if I were to go and live in Germany, I would study German. I want my life to be comfortable there. I don't want to be like a blind person, I mean, it's bad enough. Some people, they speak so quickly, or they use this puhekieli speech. Speaking, I don't know what they're talking about, but of course you want your life to be comfortable. But that's only so much this Finnish language can do, unless you are going to work. One is going to work as an interpreter. You do need that level of Finnish. So, but yes, and having a very small child, I think that is. I didn't want to do anything when my kids were much smaller.
Yeah,
I wanted to focus on my children. I thought to myself, what is more important, spending time with the kids, or going off to study Finnish? So I thought to myself, what is more important at that point? And I'm glad that perhaps I stayed at home a bit longer than I did. I think that because my husband was at one point living in just outside of Frankfurt, so I didn't want to move. We moved from Riihimäki to Hämeenlinna. So I didn't want to move them until he was sure that he wanted to live in there. Then I said we go. So at that point we were so unsettled.
This is a good point about the language. My husband has a 3-year contract. So am I really, putting time, effort, precious family time, as you say? Do I change that to evening lessons and so forth, tandems, to get, for maybe at the end of the 3 years to be able to express emotions and do a joke in Finnish?
Yeah.
That.
And it's still not it. Yeah. It's still here it's about the in circle, I always say that when you go in the sandbox, in the sandpit, hiekkalaatikko, we say, all the Finnish moms are there and you're sitting with them, and then, okay, you can communicate with them, but then there's like a joke. And you wonder why everybody's laughing. Oh, okay, it's funny. You laugh because you don't know. It does that. How important is that, to really get in? I mean, And precious family time, yeah. And if you're only here for 3 years, I would say study it, but just to make your life more comfortable. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we don't know if we stay longer. We are very open. We don't need to return to Germany. I'm not very patriotic. Hi, Rabea. Obviously also not. But
I just celebrated my 10 years in Finland last week. I'm not going back.
Here you go. Yeah, I don't know if it will be elongated, if extended, but again, I just arrived. So I'm excited to hear if anyone else is sharing any struggles or stories or successes.
If you are new, I think it's just best to take it as it comes, enjoy it, especially if you have a small kid. I mean, they grow, okay, they really grow. I mean, I have teenage kids and I still call them my babies, and they get so mad with me. I'm not your baby. But I said, you are my baby. You are not a baby, but you are my baby, I tell them. So it just happens, you know, it's so fast. So I wouldn't, I mean, maybe take a course if you can, study it passively, use the Duolingo, that's quite good. But I wouldn't use your precious time, you know, that you're going for evening classes, unless it's something that you need. You want to start putting them in a daycare at 10 months old and run off to study Finnish. I know a lot of people do that. I know a lot of foreign moms do that also, because they're lonely, they are cut off, they're isolated. So they do that not because they're bad people, but they do that because they're super isolated. I was as well. I was very depressed, and I had very bad postnatal syndrome, and I didn't know where to get help. So it would have been easy to just go and, you know, do something else. But then I got the help, and then I thought to myself, do I want to? I think I'll stay at home and we'll have family time, you know. And I think I'm glad I did that. I don't know what would have happened if my opportunities would say, if I have a friend who at that time in Riihimäki, she put her kid, a 1-year-old, and because she was so lonely, she didn't have any other kids. I had 3 kids at that time. She had 1, and she was just with the baby, with the child. So she did that, but that was driven by loneliness. I think it was she and the kids the whole day for a year. So it just depends on.
Yeah. You know which part I really liked as well? When you said you went to every networking event.
Yeah, I did. I was like a weirdo there.
Yeah.
But you know, I got people smiling at me because, okay, first of all, I was the only brown person, but the other one is that, so I stood out. But then I guess I couldn't speak networking so detailed Finnish. But then I got people smiling at me because I've seen this woman around, you know. I was like, I just told myself, walking into the auditorium with your thick skin, and don't bother if someone is looking at you and wondering what she's doing here. But it was really funny because people just got to know me.
Yeah.
And then there were people who just started to practice their English with me. That was really funny, though. It was really funny.
It's the same in Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I just made myself, I mean, it did take time, and you know, I really wouldn't have been able to do that if my kids were much younger.
No, yeah.
So that's something that I would say that I wouldn't have done. So it was possible for me.
I like for the networking part, I'm an introverted extrovert. So when people encounter me, they're like, oh, she's an extrovert, but I need security in the group I am, and I'm not feeling secure in a completely new group where there's no face I know. So when I heard you say that for me is great.
I'm exactly like that, but you know, I've learned to put on many layers of skin. That's what I say, because you have to do that. You just have to take the plunge, and then it gets easier. But of course, it's a challenge because a lot of them take time, and you have small kids, and and things like that. Yeah, but I wouldn't have done this. I think even 5 years ago, just gone to networking events. So you just have to do it, and not worry, I guess. But obviously now there are no networking events. So.
Yeah, actually related to that, we will have one at the end of this month.
The speed dating. Yes, that's right. Yes,
it will be an event with Finnish and international moms in Finland, and there's a networking round. I met already a lot of very interesting and inspiring ladies there, so I can link this Facebook event.
And I will also post that in the LinkedIn. Yep. But you can be in touch with me via LinkedIn and just pop a question anytime, since we are.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
I will join my kid for dinner now.
Yes, it was nice meeting you. Thank you for coming.
It was very nice. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you, Rabea, as well, and everyone else. See you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. I'm trying to find the event. But you can also, if you're interested in following Mothers in Business International events, join our Facebook group. And I'm trying to find that also here. I can link it to you, because related to what Vignes said, that it is quite difficult to reach a level of Finnish where you're so fluent that you can actually work, fully in Finnish. And one of our purpose is to diversify and to make sure that Finland grows into a country where it is not necessarily everywhere necessary to have sufficient Finnish skills, in a way that we're trying to find companies where it is absolutely possible to work in English, or where a basic level of Finnish is enough in order to get in and then learning by doing, because many positions do not require fluent Finnish. It's just more convenient for the companies, and if they have been working, or if the company language is Finnish, it might seem more convenient. But there are already many companies where it is not necessary. I've been working in 2 companies where Finnish has basically no place other than filling out maybe some funding applications, but there are then always enough Finnish speakers who can do that. So I'm posting here the Facebook group. You're very, very welcome to join, and discuss, ask questions, and
you could share your thoughts as well in the group. I think that ideas, thoughts, your thoughts will give us ideas on the kind of events that you would like to see. So we obviously want to organize something that you're interested in, not something that we are interested in, because there's not much point to keep organizing things that we like. I don't know, Rabea, if you have any face-to-face events already in. Have you got?
No, not yet.
Because I would like to do something in the Häme area, the Kanta-Häme area, because we have one volunteer as well in Riimäki, so we can try to organize, but obviously now it's not possible.
No, and we have been putting this off now also for longer. I'm sorry, I can't find the speed dating event for some reason, but if
I will put it anyway in LinkedIn.
Yeah, and we will have it on social media for sure. And if you are a member of MiB and you're getting the emails, then it will be there in the Lytti emails as well. So you're welcome to join there. Thank you, Vignes. That was very interesting.
Welcome. So if anyone has questions, but you're a bit shy or you think of a question later, just look me up LinkedIn and and send me a message. I am available. I do answer. I always have time. I don't like people who say they're so busy. I find time.
Great.
And thank you. We have 4 participants still left, but okay. So I guess that's it, and I will exit.
All right.
Yep.
Have a good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, have a good evening,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Bye.